John's not here.
No, he's not.
Which one of us has to say it this time?
Ooh, I mean, we could say it together.
I guess we could.
Yeah, because it's Thursday and we're looking at each other in the eyes.
It's true.
That only means that you and I are about to do one thing. Masturbate, boys.
Mm. You misplaced the comma on that. I'm just going to throw that out there.
You're welcome. Fuck the Oxford comma. Hi, buddy.
Hey.
It is Thursday, and
it's just me and you.
It's just you and I. So although we argue all the time anyways, we're going to do it on camera.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
So thanks for tuning in, everybody. No, it is Thursday. This is the Master Debate, where normally 4 mediocre assholes on the internet discuss a topic, but now it's just 2 definite assholes discussing a topic.
And a taint.
And a taint. So, Taint, what do you have for us this week?
Guys, it wouldn't be the Freedom Friends if we didn't talk about our number one sponsor, Warfighter Tobacco. Obviously, you guys have seen us all smoke them. We're here to talk about a quality product that everybody can enjoy. The great equalizer, as we've called it, the Warfighter Tobacco Stick. And it's not just cigars. They've got humidors, travel humidors, cutters, lighters, everything you need to get started on that journey. So check out warfightertobacco.com and use that code FTFO. Score yourself that sweet, sweet 15%. If you want to know my personal favorite, I'm a 762 Field guy. I like that Sumatra, real nice and even keeled cigar. Great for us beginner smokers, right? And I'm told that these taste even better when you're listening to the Freedom Friends podcast. Now, back to the show. This episode is brought to you by Grill Your Ass Off. It's no secret, we're all middle-aged dudes who love barbecue. Grill Your Ass Off is our main go-to for our spices. That's what we use, man. Whether you're doing burgers on the grill, steaks, or my personal favorite, a little bit of pork belly burn ends, right? They've got you covered on all of that. They also have salsas. They also have seasonings and spices. They got beer salts. They've got everything, man. Check them out. grillyourassoff.com/freedomfriendspodcast or use the code freedomfriendspodcast at checkout.
All right, boys.
All right, boys.
Due to recent news that has come out, I want to know, do y'all think nepotism is bad?
Give me the definition of nepotism first.
I had that pulled up.
So nepotism would be hiring somebody due to a familiar relation and or preferential treatment because you know them, pay them more, all that kind of stuff.
Oh. Huh. What's the recent events that prompted this?
Hunter Biden getting pardoned.
Oh, well, okay. For one, we all knew Hunter Biden was going to get pardoned.
If anybody's shocked that happened with 30 days left in the presidency.
From the time it came out of his lying fucking mouth, everybody with common sense knew that it
But nobody's above the law.
Happen. Yeah, no, there's definitely people above the law.
Yeah.
And the president's son is definitely one of them.
It has to do with lawmakers, turns out, are above the law.
Yeah.
But yes, the entire current administration saying that we'll follow whatever the judge's decision was. And it was from the press secretary to the president to everybody. If you are shocked that with 30 days left and no chance to ever run again,
right,
that pardon came out, then you are part of the problem. Because I mean, you are.
You should know better.
You should know better at this point that the politicians are lying to you, regardless of the party side. This is not me being pro the other side or whatever. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if we were still in a Trump presidency and Barron had done what Hunter had done,
I'd like to party with Barron.
But Trump would. If Barron had done it and Barron was looking at it, whatever, Trump would have pardoned him.
Or if Trump Jr. got charged with some bullshit, of course Trump would pardon him.
Trump's going to pardon him. Like he's that seat has the authority. They have the chance to get their family out of shit. They're going to do it.
And I think pardons are a good thing. I think the president should be able to do a pardon.
Look at all the turkeys that have been shaved.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, of course. Okay, so should Hunter have been pardoned based on what he did? No, because one, the Democrats are like very anti-gun, right? He violated a gun law So I don't think he should have been pardoned for that, right? If he was anybody else. They said their defense is because he's Biden's son, everybody came after him. No, he was a crackhead who bought a fucking gun.
Yeah.
Like he should be anybody, not just him, but anybody should be charged with buying a gun falsely and prosecuted for that.
Well, he also has charges against him for crimes against the country.
Yes.
Which, okay, so whatever. Let's be the sympathetic ones right now and say addiction's an illness.
Of course.
It's hard to break. Okay, he made bad decisions while under the influence of this addiction.
Right.
So let's play the sympathetic card on that portion.
Okay.
Being charged with crimes against your own country, when you are the son of the most powerful man on the planet,
Yeah.
I
don't think the investigation should end, right? Or, right, like just because he's pardoned doesn't mean it should not be looked into, right? You can be pardoned and he can be let off for all of this. That doesn't mean it shouldn't be like out there of what he actually did, what Biden himself may have done, right? It should be out there. People should know about it. It shouldn't just go away.
Or he should write a book that said, if I had done it.
Right. When I did it,
and how I got away with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad was president. Now, but back to pardons themselves, right? It's like driving, right? Driving is going to kill people. People are going to die because of traffic accidents.
Yes.
I think driving should be able to be done, right? Like same thing with gun ownership, right? Like we have the right to own guns in this country. People are going to die because of a gun, right?
People are going to die to. Well, I read a stat that said that like more murders are conducted with hammers than they are with guns.
Yeah, if you get rid of suicides and you get rid of a bunch of other shit, right?
It's like, but we're not banning hammers, and
right.
Look, there's also cases where, and I'm going to put this on the internet, so it's probably not terribly popular. But the stories about like dads come home and find their brother raping their daughter, and they kill their brother.
Yeah.
When those juries go like, not guilty,
right?
I fucking agree.
I agree.
Like there's situations where it's like,
yeah,
yep, nope, this is outside the law.
And that being said, right, with pardons, right, occasionally Hunter Biden's or stories like Hunter Biden where they get pardoned are going to happen. However, I think there are other stories like our friend Gary Brugman who got a pardon, right? I don't want to trade the presidential pardon power to see one Hunter Biden.
I agree. I think it is important. I mean, we have friends that have gotten presidential pardons and they were for the right reasons. Mm-hmm. I think there's other things where things were overstepped, passion got involved, charges were levied.
Yeah.
And that pardon can go in and restore somebody's ability to live a normal life.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I'm not overly in agreement with this new, that the president is exempt from legal action for things done as a president. And the reason is I don't like the precedent that sets. Like everybody can like the fact that, oh, well, now he can't be charged. And it's like, okay, but this precedent has now been set for everybody that comes after him.
Well, that's true.
I don't like that. I don't think that not being able to hold a president accountable for criminal action, if anything, I think he should have to be held more accountable because he's the president.
I disagree with you on that.
Okay.
Hence the debate.
Oh.
Right? Because I think a president should be able to make a decision. But look at how many people in government don't get in trouble for shit that they've done. Like,
but that's just
like you have the Afghanistan withdrawal, for example, right? Nobody got in trouble for that. There's
which is
no
insane to
accountability,
me.
right?
Well, I think a general lost his job.
Which one? I don't think any general lost his job. A general's going to lose his job.
That's true
for certain. But no, imagine though being a president and having to make a choice. If you know that
right, but we're not talking about things that are being done like there's 3-letter organizations that do stuff that a private civilian cannot do.
Right.
Right? There's stuff that we were told to do in the military that as a private citizen,
Yeah.
you cannot do.
Right.
Right? I'm not talking about he is operating a country, and so things have to be done for the operation of the country. Those things are outside of that. I'm talking about the criminal liability of taking actions that would affect him personally as the president, not being able to be brought up on charges for that.
Yeah.
Is problematic. That I
think there should be
that is literally removing that office from the oversight of the law.
like I think, but okay. For example, if a president does something that completely is just to financially benefit himself, right? Obviously that would be wrong, right?
Well, you just described every politician.
Exactly. That should be wrong. And but I don't think that president should get reelected, right? And that's probably why we have a 4-year term, so that if we see that kind of shit, they can get out of office.
Well, and that's the power of the vote.
Yeah.
And that's where we fix it on things like that, because we don't like it on action. Did he do anything illegal to gain that money?
Well, that's what I'm talking about. If he did that.
So, if it was true insider trading and stuff like that, yeah, I still think the president should be able to be charged. There was a congressman that just did an interview about everybody saying that like congressmen shouldn't be allowed to trade
I 100%.
on the stock market. And, and he's a Republican and he's from Texas. You can go find this information. And he was doing the whole like, sure, we shouldn't be able to trade. So stop us from being able to earn. You know what? Don't pay us. We should all just be volunteer force and da-da-da-da. And it's like,
no, his argument was they should be able to.
Nobody's right. I'm not saying you shouldn't get paid or you shouldn't be allowed to make money or whatever. But when you have access to the people that are going to make these decisions that are going to shift the stock market, and before anybody else does,
and when there's laws against any civilian that has the same knowledge against doing
couldn't
this,
do it, and you can get away with it.
Yeah.
That's a fucking problem.
That's a problem.
And this shit behind closed doors meetings and all that kind of stuff. And you admitted on camera, essentially, yeah, we have an advantage.
Yeah.
But we shouldn't be penalized for that. I'm a public servant. I should be able to make this fucking money. And it's like, nope.
I agree.
You shouldn't.
Nope.
You exited the private.
And you know what? Dan Crenshaw is who you're talking about.
I am.
And I totally disagree.
You are a public servant. You exited the private sector. You should not be allowed to use your public office to benefit in a private sector where you are competing outside the same playing field that the private sector competes on. You have an unfair advantage, and the ridiculous salary that you get for being a part-time employee is all paid by the public.
And not only that, but tell me if you are allowed to profit on your knowledge, tell me how that's going to convince you to not make decisions
that are good for your pocketbook
versus the country
and not your people.
Yeah.
Do y'all want to know how much a U.S. congressman makes?
Absolutely.
$174,000 a year.
A year.
But yet they're all millionaires.
That's crazy. Isn't it?
Craziness.
Yeah. I think $174 is pretty good compensation.
Now,
considering everything else is also covered for them.
I know what I made last year because I pay my taxes where these congressmen get their paycheck. I know what I made last year. I know I'm not a millionaire.
Yeah. Is there? But there's a 3-year path for that, right?
Apparently, I just haven't. Which is weird because April will be 3 years, and
right.
That shit's. And I own a small business, and my small business does well. I live comfortably.
Yeah.
My bills are paid. I have toys. Whatever. I'm by no means rich. I'm not wealthy. I'm not whatever. I am the definition of fucking middle class. I own a decent home. I've got an RV. I am a middle class white guy. By if you looked up the definition, that is.
Yeah.
And I don't see in 3 years.
Well, let's go back to Hunter Biden, right?
That is the richest crackhead there is.
All crackheads, there's something to aspire to.
Yep. I think it's him and Marion Barry. I think that's the richest crackheads that ever existed. No, nepotism's a problem. Insider information is a problem. The problem with politics at this point is that it's essentially become cronyism. And in my opinion, it comes back to, as long as we continue to treat politicians like fucking celebrities, then they are going to continue to earn like celebrities. Honestly, every politician out there should be treated like the least possible evil. These are people that are volunteering to be in power above you.
Yeah.
And we are a country founded on throwing off the powers above us. And yet now we hold up those that desire power over you as celebrities and role models. And I think that is fucking dangerous. And people continue to do it. You buy political merch. Like what part of that sounds healthy? Like what part of political merch sounds healthy? You know, but people don't do that with small businesses. Small business makes one mistake, you'll never shop there again. Major corporation or politics fuck up over and over and over and over again, and you'll still go out there and fucking wave their banner and drink the fucking Kool-Aid again and again and again. And I don't fucking understand it. Like, I don't understand this idea of, because you want to vote on one side of the aisle or the other, then the other side has to be completely fucked up. You are never in the wrong. And, oh, there must be a reason that they did it. You are so fucking forgiving to these people that are the powers that be above you. They are the man. And you just sit there and line up to suck the dick. And I don't get it.
Justin, there's a video of Matt Gaetz getting yelled at the RNC for being a dickhead. If you can find that video, it's like, I don't know, probably a 20-second video. But this is how all politicians should be treated.
I fucking agree. People should woe the idea of being in political office.
Yeah.
And instead, everybody views it as it's a path to wealth and it's a path to power, and you become untouchable. And which is why I've said for years on this show, anybody that wants that level of power shouldn't be allowed to have it.
Yeah.
It's not the person you want there.
Here we
We're
go.
much more united. I mean, think about that. That was all the Democrats and 8 Republicans.
I don't
One
think
who's
this
not
is
coming
wrong.
back, and then the other part that you have.
This is
the
a
other
drone.
part
This
you
is him
have
being
is
a
one
dick,
person
but-
who.
It's some random person at the RNC that like tells him to quit being an asshole or something.
I think this might be it. I remember this.
No, this
Video.
isn't it either.
It's not after. Oh,
No, this is Matt Gaetz trolling. This is him getting trolled on.
gotcha.
Yeah. Which, I mean, there needs to be more of this. There needs to be more of, like, you have to hold these people accountable. And there's media everywhere now. Like, if you want the power to be able to do it, we're doing it right now.
Right.
Us sitting here, even with our media footprint, they need to be called out. Like, on both sides. They should both be kept in check. And the population really needs to figure out how to get together and make these people stop fucking drawing these goddamn lines. They are not helping your side. They are keeping you controlled so that they can go close doors and talk to each other.
Yeah.
That's all this is. That's all of this. The whole, like, hard left, hard right, like, I'm blue, you're red, but fucking all of it is an idea of keeping the population under control, because they're going behind closed doors and having lunch together and having these discussions.
Yeah.
All of this is being done and you can't see it. And then you will go out there and you will wave the banner and you will prop up whatever fucking side you think supports you. And find one of them that's in your tax bracket. Find one of them that understands at all what the fuck you're dealing with as an American citizen.
Yeah.
Any of them.
But if we localize nepotism to like out of politics, right? So for example, if one of my boys worked here, right, and I gave him the keys to the castle, if you will, one, I would never do that. I'm going to make him earn it.
But that's a you thing. Which I respect, but I don't think anybody would be. So let's say, like, all of your kids now have signed up. They're going to do their thing. They're going to wear the uniform.
Yeah.
They're going to do their part. So they go out, they form their own thing, they serve, they grow up a little bit more on their own,
Right.
go have some independent experiences, all that stuff. And they decide to get out. We all did,
Yeah.
right? They decide to get out and go, hey, Dad, I want to get back into the private sector. Is there a spot
Right.
at Warfighter? And you go, you know what? I need a Texas rep.
Yep.
So here you go. Here's the keys. Here's a gas card. Go sell.
Right.
Go sell. Go build relationships. Learn the industry or whatever. And in 10, 15 years, you decide you're done and you put one of your kids in to take your seat. Is anybody shocked that the family-owned private business put the kid in?
I
No.
mean, there shouldn't be, right?
But, but when you run into nepotism of the whole, I worked for a company where a bunch of us that helped build it to health all got fired because a new CEO came in and hired all of his buddies to come in and take those seats. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's fucked. You disrupted dozens of fucking lives so that your friend got a job. Like, it's not illegal, but it's immoral. Like, and but I think it really does come down to, I don't think people follow a moral compass anymore. The bulk of people do not follow a moral compass, and it has somehow become fashionable to brag about how much you fucked somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it used to be that we lauded people that helped out, that gave somebody a leg up, that, was willing to be self-sacrificial or at least give somebody a shot. And now it's become, hey, check out how much of an asshole I was to this person. And that's become the fashion statement. And we talk a lot of shit on this show and whatever. But I hope most of our audience understands that the biggest reason that we do it is comedic effect. It's
right.
But there are people that build their entire personalities off of fuck them all. Like, look how much of a dick I can be. And people have made millions off of it. They're famous for it. And it's gross. I mean, I know off camera in our group how much is given back to giving people a shot or opening up opportunities or, we did have an okay quarter. Let's kick some more over to here. Let's do this. Like, there is that idea of the community helped get me where I'm at. I'm going to give it back to the community and that kind of stuff.
Well, we've all dealt with companies who don't give a fuck about the consumer.
And it's, it's just gross.
And it's frustrating.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I am an avid patriot. I am not impressed by my country at the moment.
I think it's getting better, right? This is it. This is the Gates video. This is how you should treat your politicians when they're out of line.
Are you speaking tonight? Or one person? No. Hey, you're not. If you took that stage, you would get booed off of it. You would get booed off the stage.
Watch the guy behind him.
The guy behind him just like, hey, don't be an asshole.
Yeah,
you're just being a dick.
He's like, don't be an asshole. And then right after he says that, Gates fucks off.
There was I saw footage where he's like, I think he literally is like, why are you being an asshole?
Yeah.
Like,
well, you could shoot
and Gates is like, do you know who I am? He's like, I don't care who you are. Why are you being an asshole?
Yeah, exactly.
The
It's
fact,
just like,
if you were in a political office and you ever say the phrase, do you know who I am?
Yeah.
Quit.
Right.
Quit.
if you're in any form of anything
Check yourself.
and you say, do you know who I am?
I used to have a business partner who introduced himself to all my employees by saying, do you know who the fuck I am?
Now I know why he's your ex-business partner.
Yeah. Yeah.
God bless.
Yep.
I've never heard a good story where someone hits someone with like, do you know who I am?
Right.
And because all the easiest response to that is no.
Yeah.
And then it's
Yeah.
like you all of a sudden have no power.
Right.
Because even if I do, I'm not giving you that satisfaction. I'm going to lie. I'm going to be like, fucking no clue.
Imagine what John's reply was.
I would have paid pay-per-view to
Oh,
see
yeah.
that.
So I don't know. Nepotism's not good. Looking out for yours, I get it. But everything has balance.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, it's a if you've built yourself a comfortable life, I understand protecting that comfort, right? But fucking other people for it, or, you know, just going like, fuck it, I'm never going back, so fuck every bridge. And that's kind of what nepotism is. That's the whole idea of like, well, I'm going to help you out now. It's going to fuck us later, but
yeah.
You know, and I don't know. The Biden thing is interesting. I love some of the conspiracy theories that are coming out, that it was like they already knew the legacy was dead because, you know, Vice President Harris didn't win the election. So that was, and that would have been the biggest Biden legacy piece, was that he propped up the first female president. That would have been the legacy thing. And Vice President Harris didn't win. And so I love the conspiracy theory that was this conversation that happened that was like, hey, so that we can really move forward on this new stuff and, you know, whatever, you do the pardon, Trump's not going to.
Right.
And
I definitely think when Biden got pushed out, part of the conversation was, well, now you can pardon your son.
Well, I mean, because what's it going to be? It's not going to taint Harris's.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have tainted Harris's. It can't taint Harris's presidency because she didn't win. So, you know, now that whole thing is like, well, fuck it. Like, pardon your son. Yeah. Like, sure, we're liars, whatever. The Democratic Party will dodge all of the bad press because of the amount of hate that they're going to throw at President Trump.
Right.
And now, you know, the Republican Party doesn't have to worry about the look of...
And I think Biden fucked up. He should have just said, he's my son. I might pardon him. But the fact that he said, I'm not going to pardon him.
Yeah, no one is above the law.
Yeah, that's the only thing that fucked him. If he just would have came out from the gate and said, yeah, he's my son, I might consider it.
Right.
Yeah. You know, like, what are people going to say? Well, he has that power. Like,
you know. But I love the conspiracy of like, well, they weren't going to give Trump the ammunition of Trump coming into office and then pardoning Hunter.
Oh.
And stuff like that. Like,
I think may have happened.
I think he might have done it to try and, I mean, I'm not going to lie. The more and more personal interviews that came out, I've been relatively vocal on the show about, I'm not a big fan of President Trump. Like, I don't think he comports himself as a president. I think
he'll be better this term.
Well, these last interviews where he admitted he didn't know what he was doing his first term. Yeah. There's been more and more interviews that are coming out,
especially with the cabinet picks and whatnot.
The cabinet picks, the long format stuff where you can really see more about how important family is to him. That he's, you know, a little bit more people oriented than just numbers oriented. Yeah, I mean, I think in the private world, being as braggadocious and loud as he was, sure. Yeah. I think as soon as he put on the mantle of president, he needed to let that go. He did not comport himself as a president. You do not represent your party or the red hat wearers, or you don't represent them. You represent all of us.
And honestly, though, I think by Trump getting out for a term, he's going to be way more effective this term.
Well, he doesn't have to play the dance now.
Well, but he's going to be more effective now
because he can't get reelected.
Well, not only that, but even if he's going to be more effective now than if he would have got reelected, because if he would have got reelected, it would have been the same old bullshit.
Yeah.
Now he's able to do.
It's clean slate without a need to worry about the campaign.
Right.
And it'll be interesting. I'm not.
And now he can fire people based on the last 4 years of ineffectiveness versus they didn't like me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
we'll see. But no, I mean, overall, nepotism has never had a good anything attached to it. I get it in family-owned business. I get it in, honestly, in even like veteran-owned stuff where they prioritizing veteran hiring over non-veteran hiring is a form of nepotism. Like it is, I kind of get that. Well, as long as there's a standard to hold.
The last time I applied at Twin Peaks to be a waitress, they had a lot of nepotism against me, and I still to this day don't know why.
You're a great femboy.
I mean,
yeah,
you know. So nepotism sometimes is good, right?
It's sometimes.
I would have been a terrible Twin Peaks waitress.
Great Twin Peaks bartender, though, I think.
I don't know about great.
I could see you in those booty shorts.
I mean, it'd be something. I would get a lot of attention, that's for sure.
A lot of tips just to put something back on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I appreciate the conversation, buddy. I'm going to raise my glass and say thanks for being my freedom friend.
Cheers, buddy.
So, some little things while you mull over the non-information we just gave you. 3 little things. Hit him with the first one.
Smoke on,
Drink on.
and God damn it, freedom to fuck on.
See you guys later.